Hello, good morning, viewers, and welcome to Inside Agwa Weekend Digest. Today is another wonderful day, and we'd like to thank all of you who has been following up on this weekend program. This is a program we have designed to inform you and keep you abreast with what is happening in Agwa and its environs. And in today's program, we be having another wonderful and illustrious son of Agwa joining us from Australia. Before I introduce him to the house, I'd like to also introduce in the studio my co-anchors. In today's program, I'm having Mr. Happy Man joining us in this program. Happy Man, good morning. Mr. Happy
Good morning,
Man.
my host. Thank you once more. It's another great day to hold this good program that we do. I also want to thank our viewers who have been making it a tradition to make sure that they join us weekly on our weekend digest. Thank you very much, everyone. And
All right. Thank you, Happy Man. Thank you so much for joining us today in this program. All right. I also have in the studio Mr. Comrades Wisdom Ugwebu also joining us in today's program. Comrade
All
Wisdom.
right, good morning, Agwa. It's always our pleasure to give you the best and keep you abreast of happenings in Agwa. And welcome to today's edition. I will promise to make it fun and lovely as you do. Thank you and welcome.
All right, thank you so much. And also we have in our midst, we have Comrade Mbono, who is also joining us in this program. Comrade Mbono, welcome to the program.
Thank you, my host, Mr. Marikibe. Good morning, viewers.
All right, good morning. Thank you for joining us. All right, we'll go for a short break, and when we return, I will introduce the guest of today. I will hit the ground running. All right, welcome back to Inside Agwa Weekend Digest. Like I said before, today we have in our midst an illustrious son of Agwa in the person of Dr. Humphrey Ugo, who is joining us from Australia. He is an Agwa-born Australian-based medical practitioner, a family physician, and public health consultant. He's also a private corporate entrepreneur and the group CEO, foundation president, and administrator, Agwa Diaspora Forum Worldwide. Good morning, sir, and welcome to Inside Agwa.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us in today's program. I will now hand over the program to Comrade John Bono to lead us in the interaction sections. Comrade John Bono, good morning.
Good morning, viewers. This is another session of our weekend digest called Inside Agwa. And today in the program, we are having one of our father, a leader and a medical practitioner based in Australia. He's an Agwa-born medical practitioner in the person of Dr. Humphrey Chukwuemeka Ugo. Welcome, our guest.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I will also have some of our correspondent in the studio, Mr. Comrade Wisdom Ugwebu, Comrade Happy Man. They are all here in the studio to give this program a bite. Today, quickly to our program today, we want to hear from our guests to know what our people, Agwa in Diaspora, are doing in making sure that the peace of Agwa is sustainable and development thereof. So without much ado, we want to ask our father, Dr. Humphrey Go, how is this Agwa diaspora come about? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bono. Yeah, the Agwa Diasporans Forum is the umbrella organization, like the name suggests, of all Agwa sons and daughters living overseas. Anybody living outside Nigeria is technically supposed to be a member. And the whole idea is to try to enable us in diaspora to be part of what's happening in Agwa, the challenges, the developmental strides, the wind of change blowing across Agwa. And that's basically why we are there. The Diaspora Forum was this present formula we are doing now was started on the 29th of April, 2022. And then that is where we are. We have members all over the world, of which the breakdown I can give. Most of our members are from the USA, where 25% of the members we have on road about 40 members for now. Out of an estimated 700 to 1,000 Agwa indigenes living overseas. So we are still pretty new, and more and more people are coming on board. We also have members from the UK, myself in Australia, in Canada, Ireland, Turkey, Germany, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, UAE, and a couple of African countries, Ghana, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Niger Republic, and name it, India. So we don't want to be left out, and we want to make sure we support what the Agwa SEU is doing, Agwa Central Union is doing, to make sure Agwa is made a safe place and made better in our time. So that's briefly in a nutshell where we are for today at the ADF.
We'll have a couple of questions to ask you. So some of my colleagues will be taking order one. So each one will ask, we'll expect you to answer within the confine of the question in order to enable us to ask the next one. I will have Comrade Wisdom. Please, could you mute yourself and take your question?
All right. Welcome once more again, sir. Let me go this way. Ever before now, the Agwa Diaspora Forum wasn't in existence. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Ever before now, the Agwa Diaspora Forum wasn't in existence, just like other places. So my question is, why did the Agwa Diaspora Forum form when there was nothing similar to it as at before now, before the existence of ACU? Just like you said.
Okay, just quickly to summarize what I have already said. They in the past there have been previous feeble attempts to form an Agwa union overseas. I've actually been living overseas since 1992, 93. I know there were a couple of attempts, localized attempts in the US, which did not go far. But the difference between what is happening now and what has happened in the past is because this is the first time we are getting all our sons and daughters worldwide under one umbrella. And it's working out fine thanks to technology. Because 10 years ago or thereabout, or before that time, uh, any association or attempts to form groupings relied more on boots on the ground, people coming to meet face to face. But with the technology now, WhatsApp and everybody, you can stay anywhere. We've been able to achieve what was not possible in the past. So that is why this forum is a plus for all of us. And we've been also able to communicate with the Agwa Central Union at home and everybody at home uh, to make sure we do the best for our communities. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you've actually answered the question. Just like you said, you didn't say what is new to some of us who having this challenge of coming together, and thank God we have a central union that is playing a model role to other union in that is of agua extraction. We would like to go to the next question, and that's coming from Happy Man. Happy Man, if you are there, unmute yourself and take your question.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Let
Welcome.
me put in this question. You know, let's say in any family or a forum, there must be executives that constitute, or let's say a kind of a leadership of every forum or even in a family. Can you make us know the few executives and leaders of the Agua in Diaspora's forum?
Okay, thank you. Like I said earlier, our membership is global, worldwide. Um, and we have a large pool to draw membership from, between 700 and 1,000 Agua sons and daughters living everywhere. Currently, there are about 40 registered uh, members on platform. So we have a small interim executive committee because what we are doing for now is we are a proactive action-based organization. We take up an assignment and we execute it and we go to the next one. So currently I'm the president and the foundation administrator of the worldwide platform. And then we have Mrs. Basi Nena Akabiro as one of the co-administrators. She's based in Canada. We have our interim treasurer, Dr. Kevin Iheitu, who's based in the US. And then we have a couple of other members who are supporting us. So these are the three major people piloting the affairs for now, pending when we decide to have a fuller house and then have an election, bring in some more people on board.
So Thank you for that response. Now that takes us to the next question. We want to ask, it probably it's been a while, far from home, but you've been fully abreast of what has been happening in Agwa. We want to ask you, based on your indices, what do you think that there are indices that make up a developing clan, or a clan that will, in a larger term, to say that this clan is developing consistently?
Okay. Generally speaking, from point of view of United Nations, WHO, and the likes, there are four main indices for development. In a country or on a smaller level in any community. And those indices, they center on education, health, employment, and the unemployability of the citizens or indigents, and the rates of gender equality or inequality, and per capita income. So having that background in mind and putting it in the perspective of Agwa, I would say Agwa is a developing clan. They have done very well. For instance, education. I remember during our day, I schooled at Trinity High School, Oguta, when the war ended, 1970, for instance, when we used to trek from Agwa to Uguta and back again to enable us get, secondary school education. There were only about very few of us in the whole of Agwa. For instance, in terms of the females, there were only about 3 or 4 females in Agwa, the whole of Agwa that time. But today, there is hardly any homestead you go into in any village in Agwa that you don't have either a university graduate or a polytechnic graduate, or basically everybody has, of school age that has a school certificate or have reached a similar level. So that's one good index. And then when you talk of health too, there are a couple of health centers here and there. In 1970 up to 72, there was only that, one single health center where you have the present police station. It was called a dispensary. I know I did a couple of house jobs there during long vacation. But today, almost every Agwa village is either into constructing its own health center, and there's the hospital complex that is uncompleted in Umwebu. So that is another good index. There are about 15 secondary schools in Agwa now. Whereas in 1977, 78, thereabout, when the Agwa Secondary School was being established, we all had to carry blocks on the head to construct that school. It was the only school, but today there are 15. Another wonderful index. Many of our young ones are now university graduates, working all over the country. Some are overseas and earning good money and making a good living. They bring home to support their various families. And even above all, the gender inequality in Agwa is improved a lot. In those days, like in 1970, there were only about 3 or 4 girls in Agwa who were in secondary school. But today, almost virtually every school age girl or female has not only gone through secondary school, and many are in the university, which is good. So Agwa is doing very well. We are very proud of that.
to the next question. We'll come to Comrade Wisdom. Comrade Wisdom, if you are there, please unmute yourself and take your question.
All right, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Go ahead. I'm hearing you.
All right, sir. Based on your explanation so far, do you think Agua is progressing as in terms of development, and at what percent can you score Agua when it has to do with development?
That's a good question. Generally, I will give our a pass mark. We are progressing in the area of, we are now becoming socially aware, a bit politically aware, infrastructurally within Agwa. We're also making progress slowly. There are buildings all over. Like in 1970, it was thatch houses almost all over the place. Now, when you move around Agua, from what I hear, you see fine structures, story buildings, which is good. In terms of our people being in politics and so on, a couple of them have had the opportunity of serving in various tiers of government, at the local government, at the state government, and so on. But whether that service has translated to improvements in Agua is a matter of opinion, of anybody. On my own, I would say it hasn't translated much. Even though we've had opportunities for various people in various tiers of government, Agua has not benefited really much. There's been some benefit, but probably should have been more. And hopefully, by God's grace, these things will improve with time. But as a community, we have done very well. We are taking our place rightly in the committee of other communities around us, academically, educationally, and so on. But there are people in government in the past, they did their bit, maybe bearing in mind whatever constraints they have. But I believe more should have been done, given their scenario. Thank you.
All right, sir. Yes, I will know that the government governance is a continuum, and Agwa is also part of the world population that cannot be discussed as exclusively out of other things that people might not quote that's obtainable in the community. I'm talking about the development of Agwa. It has been adjudged slow, but then is a governance is a continuum. We would like to go to Happy Man to take up his question if he's there.
All right, let me see some. Sir, I like the fact that whenever I want to ask a question, you add some kind of source to it, and I do really appreciate you for that. So I want to ask, just like you said, all the representations we've been having way back 1976 to date, all of us can say and see that we've not really made out the most out of all those things.
Can you raise
Even
your voice a bit?
Okay, I am saying that counting back from 1976 till date, all the representations that we've been having right here from Agwa, like our indigenes here representing, everybody can see that we've not really made out the most out of those representations in terms of positive changes
let's say, infrastructures, some other social amenities, and health-wise and education and everything. Anybody can see that. What do you think are the reasons why we've not been able to make any good positive changes out of these representations? Thank you, sir.
Well, that's a good question. Um, if you are in government or in any leadership position, your level of commitment to that group is one thing, and then your level of commitment to your person or issues related to you is another thing. And like in any office or in any portfolio, there will definitely be challenges. I'm not going to hold brief for anybody who was in government or who did not do. But because I know Agwa as a clan, we cannot boldly now say the government has been unfair to us or governance has been unfair to us, because we've had civil commissioners for Imo State from Agwa. We've had a local government chairman from Agwa. We have had people holding various top party positions. But I think, just like you rightly said, we are yet to see the impact of those things. It did not translate into any obvious performance on the ground. Because one of the very first things that I used to assess a community is the roads. The only road that links Agwa, the only major road that links Agwa to the outside world, given its food basket status in Imo State, the Agwa Ejeme Road for us is still a victim of politics. That politics started in the early 70s, right from the time of late Nzamadi of Ejeme Ikuru, incidentally, who was from Ejeme Ikuru to date. That road contract has been awarded more than 10 times and is still being re-awarded. Recently, the Imo government said, 5-kilometer road to be tarred and so on. I'm still waiting to hear that work has started there. Nothing. Then the member for our zone in House of Representatives, when he was looking for nomination, round and made a mess and came and kept one dilapidated caterpillar or whatever it is on the road, saying he was going to upgrade that road or renovate. As soon as he got the nomination, he disappeared. So that has been the plan. It also even happened when we had our own sons as local government chairman. I'm not going to mention name. Our own sons as civil commissioners. I'm not going to mention name. Our own sons as party chair, chairman, party chieftains. So part of the main reason, if I put it in one word, is their level of commitment, level of patriotic commitment to doing for my people, in my opinion, hasn't been that high. There's somebody who would have gone in there and he would do something. Some other person will go in there and say, let me wait for when government will say do. You get the point. So that is exactly what's happening. In one word, maybe one or two of them have been good, but overall pass mark, past administrators or past Agwa political office holders didn't do well because they didn't show enough level of patriotic zeal and commitment to Agwa as their home and place of birth. So that's my summary of the whole thing. And I'm sure you know what I'm saying. I've said it before in various fora, and I will say it again any day. It's my view. They didn't do well because if they felt commitment, there was something that could have happened. But most of them didn't. Probably they were intimidated or ruled, but we are not sure they did enough. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Humphrey Ugo, for that response. For our viewers, if you are just joining us now, we are on with Dr. Humphrey Ugo. He's Agwa born a medical practitioner based in Australia, the pioneer administrator of Agwa Diaspora Forum. We also want to appreciate our on-site participant, Bishop Dr. Divine King Akalado, of our brother Mr. Chukwude Mwadike, Mr. Ikwerechi Nkemjika. We've once seen your comments. It shows that we are doing great. Thank you for coming. Sir, we also want to ask you again, like we told you, we have a couple of questions to ask. We want to now take you back to the Agwa Diaspora Forum. Being the head or the pioneer administrator, what are the things you people are doing to ensure that the renaissance that is going on here in Agwa is sustainable? I'm talking of in helping ACU financially and otherwise. Our people, Agwa, will want to know your stand and how you have been able to help ACU in combating whatever challenges we're having here. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. One of the main reasons and burning desires that has been going on within us here in diaspora as Agwa indigenes is to make Agwa a better place in our time. Just the slogan of the ACU. So when this platform came on, the main aim is to partner with the ACU, right? They're doing a good job. We partner with them and make sure our indigenes who are living outside Nigeria contribute their bit to home development. Because if our home is safe, if our home is developed, if our roads are good, we'll be happy to come home. People will come home, bring home what you have, and life will be good for everybody. So we have a blueprint, the Agwa Development Forum. We have a roadmap, what I would call a 5-year development roadmap. We've looked at the problems facing Agwa and we've categorized the problem in order of importance or priority. The most pressing problem now facing Agwa is security. So we've tried to key into that by supporting the ACU. And before I go to analyze this individually, we have also been contributing as members of the ACU. I have been contributing individually. Every other member in the Agwa ADF platform, we've all been contributing individually. But the ADF, we are involved with as a group to see what we can mobilize here and send to help the ADF, help the ACU. So phase 1 of our development program, Agwa development program, borders on Agwa social security challenges. We have just concluded that. And recently we made a remittance of almost 3 million naira to the leadership of the ACU on the 4th of October to enable them use that to improve the combat readiness of the Agua Vigilante group setup. Buy them basic things they need, because they will only do a good job if they have what they need to. So that is that contribution. We are going into the second phase of a development program, which will still be on security, the one for 2023. To still be on our security. The phase 3 will be on education, how we'll improve education in Agwa in our own way. Phase 4 will be on infrastructural development. There are a couple of projects in Agwa that are still either abandoned or unfinished, like the General Hospital in Umweb. Wonderful innovation that will have to be looked at some stage. And the phase 5 will be, we'll try to encourage smaller and medium income enterprises, encourage people to set up cooperatives and fund it, education scholarships to indigent Agwa children, and so on. So these are all we do. And quickly, the way we do this, which has been working for us, we operate what we call a zero bank balance policy. Because we have taken time to study that in the past. I have been very much involved in Agwa issues, even when I was a practicing doctor in Lagos. Part of the problem we've always had in the past would be embezzlement, even when you didn't. You get? So because of that, we don't have any monies in our bank account. What we do is we pick up a project, fund it, do the project, and the account goes back to zero. For instance, if you check our account with Mr. Kevin here, it is zero, because the project we did was to phase 1, social security, the almost 3 million, and we sent it to the ACU. We will now start the phase 2. When we get to the phase 2, we will cost it, and we raise that fund, and we do that, and we zero the account again. And by so doing, nobody will come tomorrow and say, Dr. Oriele Gundemad, Dr. Hechu, Oriele again, so that is how we've gone. We'll continue to have synergy with the ACU and key into programs that we also, at some stage, will be initiating our own projects. That we will do on our own, like scholarships for indigent Agwa children and so on, with or without the ACU. But for now, we are tackling security in support of what the ACU is doing, so that the place will be safe for everybody, so that people outside can come home. Myself, the last time I came to Agwa was in 1993, after the Abiola crisis. It's not that I don't feel homesick. I feel homesick. But you can't sleep with 2 eyes closed. But by God's grace, we will overcome. It's going to happen, and it's gradually happening. Peace and stability will reign. So that's where we are with that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that careful explanation to your program for Ndiagwa. I would like to go back to Comrade Wisdom. If you are there, unmute yourself and take up your question.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for another wonderful explanation. you've made it very obvious to us that the ADF is actually working with ACU, having established all the projects and the one yet to be established. And my question is very simple. Is ACU guiding ADF? Like, is ACU guiding ADF? Are they the one giving ADF instructions or directives on what to do as it has to do with Agwa, pertaining to development and otherwise?
No, the SCF is not guiding the ADF. We are only partners, right? So we take our decisions, what we want to do, bearing in mind what the realities on the ground in Agwa is or are, right? So we don't take directives from the ACU. No, we are, I would say, complementary entities. We are working for the same thing, and but as much as possible, because they are on the ground and they initiated to a reasonable extent the formation of this body, we try to make sure we are in synergy with what they are doing, because they have boots on the ground, so they know what the more very pressing issues are. So that is that. And to further show that we are in support of what the ACU is doing, we have three leaders of the ACU, made them permanent members of the Agwa Diaspora Forum. The president is Benson Akonya is there. The secretary, Dikin Obodo, is there. John Bosco, and then the treasurer Ndoka is there. So they are part of us. They attend our meetings when we want to deliberate. At times, now it hasn't happened before. In future, maybe when we want to have something a bit exclusive, we might not invite them, but they are with us most of the time because we are doing the same thing. And so far, it's so good. It's worked out well. They keep us updated what's happening in Agwa, security challenges, what they have done, what they think should be done. And that guides also helps us to narrow or dovetail or tinker our own programs to what we need to do. Okay, so we are partners. I would rather say partners than guide or guiding or something. No, they don't guide us as well. We are independent relatively, but we are doing the same thing.
All right, sir. You've just told us that Agwa Diaspora Forum and the ACU are partners in progress. It's good to synergize and giving back to.
Hello? Hello?
Bon, are you there? Bon,
He's not talking.
I think he has lost his network. However, let me continue from where he stopped. If he has lost his network, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, I think he has lost his network. So,
Yes.
moving forward, just like you said, that is a partnership that you are running with ACU. We have some questions in the comment section, but before we go to that comment section, let me quickly ask you also: do you believe that Agwa Clan's sluggish development can be attributed to late formation of ACU and ADF? Do you believe that the development lagging of Agwa is based on late formation of ACU and ADF?
I don't believe so, because the ACU or ADF didn't create that. And to take you back a bit into history and memory lane, before ACU was created, there have been previous attempts at having a central front in Agua. There's the Agua Development Union, which dates back to even the early 70s. And there's the Agua Youth Association in Lagos, which was formed in 1974. I happened to be secretary of that association when it was formed. So the moves have been there. But just like I said at the beginning, the major breakthrough now that is yielding results, what the ACU is doing and ADF is doing, is that we do not anymore, strictly speaking, need to have boots on the ground. What I mean by boots on the ground is it is no more 100% necessary for people to come together into St. Teresa's school hall. A meeting at 2 o'clock. No. Technology has made it easier. A part of the breakthrough is because of the technological advancement now, like the WhatsApp team we are using, it's all free and all that. So Agua is moving like other communities, probably a bit slower than others. There are also other communities slower than Agua. So the coming of the ACU, the younger generation too, is a very good innovation. And that's what is happening worldwide now. Okay, in the villages, in countries, in towns. And the social media is also helping a lot. So I think Agua is changing with the times, like every other place. Okay, sluggish initially because means of communication was a problem. But now that means of communication has been solved, that everybody, even phone, you can stay in Australia and call your mother in the farm. So that is good. So that's where we are. Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have been able to see that there has been a
Voice,
collaborative
voice,
effort
voice.
by. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, raise your voice. The big thing.
Okay, okay. I am saying that so far you've been able to make it known that there has been a collaborative effort between the ACU and the ADF. Now, I want to ask, aside the ADF forum, the forum of the ADF, are there also external individuals who have been able to make some commitments, let's say finance-wise, to help the effort of the ACU and the ADF?
The word external can apply to SCU, but the external cannot apply to us. We are already outside. Okay, having explained that, the answer is yes. If you listen to what I said at the onset, that regardless of the fact that we are under this umbrella ADF now, that most of us are also making personal donations to the ACU. Even before this, the ADF was formed, we make our donations. I make mine, and every other person I know does. They could be some other Agwa indigenous in Diaspora who are also contributing to the ACU who are not yet our members. I can't talk on those. I talk on my members. So the answer is yes. That we are members of the ADF does not prevent us from, if the ACU has any immediate challenge, you do something. So that is the way it is. And we've done that in the past severally, and we are happy to do that. I've done it severally. I'm happy to do it anytime, as long as it's something that will make our better and more peaceful. Okay?
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Like Comrades Ugwebu rightly said before, we actually have some of our viewers with questions on the backstage, and I don't know whether our anchor is here, but in the okay, we have a question here, sir. Like you can see rightly on the screen. He said, if you compare number of Agwa sons and daughters living abroad or who have opportunity to travel abroad, we are backward comparatively. What is your group plan to help in creating opportunities?
Yeah, okay. I'll digress a little. It's like when they asked P2B, P2B, Nigerian politics, what he will do to make everybody happy in Nigeria. He said he cannot make everybody happy. But what he can do is that he will try and do what he knows is right for the country. And by so doing, people will be happy. Agwa has several challenges. Yes, we know we are turning out graduates at home, university graduates and so on. We would definitely like them to come overseas if they meet the criteria and if it's possible. The ADF as a group, we are also making progress slowly for now, because it's supposed to be a game of numbers. I'll give you some figures now, and unfortunately, by our estimate, there are about 700, between 700 to 1,000 Agwa sons and daughters overseas, right? But if you listen again to my breakdown, I said what we have on register for the ADF now is just 40 members. More will come in, we expect so. There are still a lot of them. Some of them have been overseas for 40 years, 30 years, and so on, who are still sitting on the fence. Where metoma? Only ishi metoma, or where drug. You get the point? That mentality. So some of our people still have that mentality. Or when they hear there's a new group, hey Bruno, they will actually learn then on Ishi, and then the next thing they will expect it should fail. They stay by the side, they stay aloof. So that's the challenge we have is numbers. The more the merrier. You get the point? Yes, we will try to encourage. If you listen to my 5-year development plan I mentioned, I did mention things like scholarship and so on. But that will only happen at the appropriate time. For now, we are taking the problems in order of merit. The greatest challenge facing Agwa now is security. So that's where we are this year and next year, in line with what the ACU is doing. Okay, when we arrest that, then we go on to education, and maybe that's where this will come in. Scholarships and encouraging people qualify to come overseas, whatever form, advice, support where possible. But we also will be careful not to overpromise people, because it is bad. No, it's not manly. Okay? Yes. And out of the 40 we have on our list, I'm sorry, I'll go personal now. Only 8 people donated the almost 3 million we sent to the ACU. 8. I'll tell you their names. I'm not supposed to, but I'll do. Dr. Humphrey Ugo, Mr. Ferdinand Mabu, Dr. Kevin Ihechu, Ms. Nana Akabiro, Mr. Gregory Obiwuma, Dr. Allwell Madakolam, Mr. Chukwemeka Obodo, and Mr. Faith Mba. Mara Sato 8 only out of 40, and 40 out of 1,000 Ono Alabeke. So you see the problem we have. So that same mentality, our mentality, is still in many of us, even though they're outside. But we will succeed. We are not looking back. I require 5. We will do it and we will succeed. It will not collapse. It's a promise. Okay, so that is the thing. They want to come in and enjoy image. I may enjoy. But they don't want to come in now to contribute. Assuming now I even 100, we will do double, now almost 3 million, maybe now 7 million. You see the thing? So my advice is that let them know. Advise them, let them join the ADF. There's nothing to hide away from. We know where everybody is. We want development, and we will all have to be involved. So that's my advice. Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you for that responded, Mr. Ugwebu Wisdom and the Happy Man. So thank you for holding forth for me. And I was technically knocked out, but thank God I'm back. There is one thing our host just said now, and for me, that has been a fundamental problem of Agwa historicism. This idea of they should start doing it first and sitting on the fence, trying to find faults. People I call the cynics, fault founders. I think it's not going to help us. Look at what the figure he brings out is heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. Well, our people should come up. This is a project that we all should do and give back to our society. Everybody has his or her own bit in the course of development. I think this should be a campaign we should take up to appeal to our people that are living outside the shore of Agwa to be part of what is happening. By what I know, Agwa in Diaspora can, on their own, donate to ACU in a tone of, let me say, 100 million naira. Agwa can do it at a go, considering our numbers. I was just chatting with one of them, was it yesterday? She revealed to me that Agwas in India, they are more than 40. Agwas in India, they are more than 40. So this is just a tip of the iceberg. Thank you, our guest, for giving us that figure, but it's not good for our brothers to be on the fence while something like this is going on. Remember, history has its own way of record, remembering the hard work people have done. Thank you for that. I understood that we are in a question session by our people following us online. The anchor man in the protocol studio, Mr. Chima, please, could you beam us the next question so that he can attend to it?
All right, thank you, Comrade John Bono. Thank you for that. I think we have taken the only question coming from our viewers, and that is from Mr. Chukwudi Nwatike. Thank you, Dr. Humphrey Ugo, for that insights you have given us. Indeed, all our Agwa people that are watching this program and those that will watch it after now, we have a lesson to take home. And on that note, we want to thank you for your time. While I give you just few minutes to give out your shout out message to all Agrarians, your word of advice before we end, bring the program to a close. Thank you.
Okay, I thank you, organizers of this Agwa TV weekly digest. It's a good innovation. Keep it up. My message to first to Agwa people at home is that they should continue to rally around and support the ACU. They're doing a wonderful job. Collectively, we can achieve anything. And you come, both, right? They need all the support to overcome the challenges at home. Then to us out here, we are all part of the match. We are all part of the game. All diasporans, those on our list and those still out there, I would advise them to come on board because it's a game of numbers. If we are many, instead of this 40 area now, only 8 reactive anyway out of the 40, so that even the 40 are active now, we would have given ACU 10 million naira easily. All right? So just like him, Sambonuku. Then God bless you. Number 100 na 200. I don't know quota government now. How we do it? But we need all hands to be on deck. And I thought because onye be drangan ya shift. It's our challenge. So my appeal to people at home, if you have your relatives who are overseas, impress it on them to join the ADF. They should not be hiding away. It's free. They should come on board and, tax there. It's free, a meeting of brothers and sisters. Impress it on them to come on board. Because ABIA is only in our ACU at the home branch. It's not enough. We all members of the ACU. But they should join us here so that we can all plan better and do bigger things for our community. I thank everybody. I thank also the members of the ACU who are on board already and those who are on board but not yet active to activate themselves. You get the point. Because when the history story will be told, it's not good now. You get the point. So this is it. We have records. So I thank everybody again, the viewership. In fact, it's as if I am a lot with this program, seeing faces of brothers and hearing from my own people. I'm very happy. So keep it up and God will bless everybody and give us success. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Dr. Humphrey, for joining us this program. And also thank you, Comrade John Bonu, as well as Mr. Happy Man, and also to Comrade Wisdom. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us in today's program. Hope to see you guys next week as we also bring to our people the next edition of the program. Thank you. That will be it for today. See you again next week.